Alright guys, so, this is a very quick video that was not meant to be made, but I got called out on my last video, and for a good reason. I showed you how to solder with bent legs or leads on your components, and like I mentioned in my previous video, you shouldn't be doing that because it makes it more difficult to remove the component. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to solder your components in the more proper way with straight legs or leads coming through your through holes, okay? As you can see, I already placed the component and I had the legs straight. What you need to do at this point is you take your soldering iron that's been heated up to a nice, good, hot point. And as you can see right here, I have a little bit of solder just sticking out. What you're going to do is you're going to get a little solder on the tip of your iron. And you're going to hold your component from the bottom. And then you're going to tap that solder onto your lead. Okay? That's going to hold it in place so you can actually completely solder the whole thing down without having any issues or without having your component not be very level on your board. Alright? Now the same procedure works with this. Put a little solder paste on there. Oop, got too much on there. Okay, so we got our solder paste on. Now we'll go ahead and we'll just touch the tip of this solder with the iron to get a little bit attached to it. You don't need too much, just melt it away. You can see I got a nice little glob on there. And you can either hold the board down against the table you're using or put your finger directly underneath it, hold it in place, and just get a little bit of solder on there. Now it's gonna get hot, okay? It's not very visible, but you can see that teeny tiny bit of solder there, okay? Now we'll go ahead and solder the other side and get that put in place. You don't want to do the part that you actually put the dab of solder on because, well, you're not going to have a level place, okay? Now that this leg is soldered in place, we'll come over to the other leg and do the exact same thing. Okay, now we're soldered down. From here, we'll go ahead and take our edge cutters and we're going to cut our legs. Remember, from the top of the solder joint. Do not cut into the solder joint. And there we go. All done. Very basic. You got your solder joints. This one's not the best joint, but it'll work. Now I'm going to show you a quick little tip. If you don't want to hold... Sorry about that. If you do not want to hold your component in place with your finger, because they can get quite hot, okay? So you may burn the tip of your finger by holding it. Take a bit of masking tape. It doesn't matter what type of masking tape, just masking tape. And use that to hold it in place. Okay? Just like so. So you got it holding, and from there you can go ahead and flip it over and solder in your legs. So you can either hold the component with your finger and take the chance of getting a little bit of extra heat on there or burning it a bit, or just use some masking tape to hold it in place. That's it. That's my little bit of addendum. Let's call it that. That's my addendum, or my correction to the issue I had in the last video. Don't bend your legs. When you're doing it in the professional manner or whatnot, keep your legs straight, hold the component in place, and tap a little solder on the legs to hold it there, and then solder it in, or put some masking tape on there, alright? If you're practicing and you're not very good at soldering, get one of these practice boards like I showed you before, and just bend the legs. Who cares? The point of that is to learn how to make a good solder joint. Once you know how to make a good solder joint, go ahead and keep your legs perfectly straight. Hold your component in place with your finger or a piece of masking tape, and then solder them in. Alright? That was it. Just want to make a quick little correction video. And yeah, so go ahead and have a great night. Practice as much as you possibly can and make your solder joints perfect. And once you know you can make your solder joints perfect, go ahead and continue making your legs straight and hold them with your finger or a piece of tape. Have a great night, guys, and we'll see you the next time.